everyone, I'm Dr. Laura Bellis. Thank you for tuning into today's video. The topic for today was a quick one and something I just wanted to do a couple minutes on because I get asked it a lot and I hear about it a lot. People are always talking about the topic of probiotics. Now, the thing that I hear a lot about from a patient perspective is, oh, I don't need to take probiotics, I eat yogurt. Or I eat cheese, fermented cheese, or sauerkraut, or I have kombucha, which is a fermented drink, once or twice a week. Now, those are all probiotic-containing foods. However, they are not the same across the board. All probiotic-containing foods, A, do not contain the same amount of probiotics and the same strains or the same types of bugs in all of those products, and they don't all contain the same amount, so the same concentration. Now, for a healthy person who has no digestive concerns, no leaky gut, no concerns about weight loss or having difficulty losing that midsection weight or feeling sluggish, for those healthy people, having a regular consumption of fermented foods is encouraged, is highly encouraged. I actually recommend 2 to 3 fermented servings of foods for most of the week. The reality is most of us have issues in the areas I just mentioned. We have digestive concerns, bloating, gas, cramps. We can't tolerate certain foods. We have poor memory or sluggish brain fog, and all of those things could potentially be linked to a dysbiosis, or what we call a disimbalance with the good and bad bacteria in your gut. So this often can happen from prolonged stress, chronic illness, most commonly, especially in kids, overuse of antibiotics without supplementing with probiotics shortly after. So if you fall into any of these categories, you may have already been to a healthcare practitioner that's told you there's definitely an imbalance in your gut flora. So for these individuals, which is unfortunately a lot of us, we need to be considering taking a high quality probiotic. Now, this includes a probiotic that is enteric coated, which means it doesn't get eaten up by the stomach acid in your stomach and in fact will get absorbed in the digestive tract. And again, needs to be tested for purity and for quantity. A lot of probiotics out there will say 100 billion and they're not coated enterically, meaning you absorb 100 billion or you ingest 100 billion, but by the time it gets to the digestive tract, the lower, the small intestine, you actually may be lucky to see 10 or 15 billion of that. So that means 90% could be wasted on its way down to where it should be. So there's 2 things to consider here. The first is, are you getting the amount that the label says you're getting? So if you're buying 100 billion, I really hope there's actually 100 billion in your probiotic. This is so oftentimes not the case. So always buy a brand that you know and trust and that explicitly states that they test and guarantee the quantity of probiotics in their capsules. And number 2, make sure that it's enterically coated. Make sure that it actually will pass through the stomach, which most oftentimes probiotics are not needed, and will pass through the digestive tract to the areas that it is needed. So the amounts that you're buying, you want to actually make sure get absorbed in your body where they should. So to answer the question and to respond to the comment of I don't need probiotics because I eat yogurt may not be good enough for most of us. So I hope this helps clear up some of the fog around probiotics. And if you have any comments about what's worked for you, please leave them in the comments below.